향으로는
게
얘가 좋네.
첫 번째 게 A, 두 번째 게 A, B, 세 번째 게 더블 A. 우리는 뭐 하루 종일 이렇게 테스팅하는 게 일이라서 그만큼 커피가 가지고 있는 그 개성이나 그 가치에 대해서 좀 더 이렇게 들여다볼 시간이 있는 거예요. 근데 그 오는 손님들과도 같이 이렇게 맛을 보고 또 니노도 왔잖아요. 그래서 쟤도 미각이 굉장히 좋은 친구라 맛보고 코멘트도 한번 부탁하고.
A, B, A,
네. A, A, B, A, A. You know, we need your comment.
My comments on this.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I'll give it a gander. What's your name?
Yeah, I'm Park.
Park.
Yeah, Park. English name is David.
Oh, okay, David. That's awesome. My friend is David. I
You're
work
from
with him.
USA.
From the USA,
USA.
California.
California.
Southern California.
I was in Washington D.C. and Maryland.
Oh, in Washington D.C.
Washington D.C. and Maryland.
Oh, Maryland. Yeah.
Nice place.
Oh, were you working or studying?
I work and it's a mission.
Oh, really?
Christian, so it's
Oh, your missionary stuff.
Christian.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay. The missionary work in Washington D.C.
Washington is almost is a Korean is a stay in Washington D.C. and Maryland. They have a project in Mexico.
In Mexico?
Yeah, so it's I have worked in Mexico 4 years.
Really? Where in Mexico?
It's Chiapas County.
Ooh, I'm not sure.
Chiapas County.
That's down south, more south. Yeah. Oh, it's big. Missionary
Now
work.
I'm farmer in Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, for the
I've
beans?
worked.
Oh, you really? Oh my God, that's fantastic.
My children.
These are your children. And then you do roasted it now? You do the
Yeah.
roasting? Oh, beautiful. Absolutely.
Yesterday,
Yesterday.
we roasted this meat, and today we taste.
Today's the test.
Tasting
Okie
this
dokie.
one.
I am quite enthusiastic to try it. Wow, so you've been there, you're a world traveling missionary. You travel the world, spread the gospel, and share good beans.
Yeah, it's when I was starting times, it's a missionary, but it's now it's a little bit different. It's a OD project manager, official development assistant manager.
For the coffee, the farm?
For tea and it's another job. Field is a little bit different. Korean is a government. If they wanted to support these poor countries, so it's a member of NGO.
Yeah, NGO, yeah. It's you said in Africa?
Tanzania, Kenya,
Dang, dude, Ethiopia, man. That's what's up. Dang, did you
Have you
ever?
been there?
No, just in my dreams when I sleep and travel. Never in the flesh. And through movies. I've been there through movies and YouTube. Not.
We have a plan with the
You're gonna go?
Yeah, I
Oh,
go there.
dude, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be a farmer. Coffee.
You want to be a farmer?
Yeah, he can give me the chance, so yeah, I'm gonna be.
I think you'd be an incredible farmer. So, I think your beans would just be just above unicorn beans all the time. Wow. Yeah, Ethiopia is. I just watched a documentary about Ethiopia and reggae music, and like it's actually Rastafarianism, and they had the president of Ethiopia was deemed like Rastafari, Haile Selassie Rastafari or whatever, he was deemed as the Jesus Christ. He became like because Ethiopia is a very special place. Like the Ark of the Covenant is supposed to be there. Plus the Ethiopian queen came to like meet like Solomon and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a bunch of like Christianity and like, Judaism mixed, and they use like apocryphal texts like Book of Enoch, go into that kind of stuff. So anyways, they're really into that. The whole second coming of Christ. I think Ethiopia will be one of the chosen people, one of the chosen
아 이렇게
tribes
세로로
outside
하면
of
좀
the
얼굴이 부어 보여.
the 144,000.
아, 세로 못하니까.
There's this really cool documentary about Rastafarianism and how it's all about the worship of Jesus Christ, but through smoking marijuana. It's pretty cool. I was like, damn, dude, that's what's up. Ethiopia looked really beautiful place. It looked like an amazing, just the mountains and the waterfalls, just big, green, luscious places. It would be great. Really cool.
What's your job?
Oh, English teacher.
English teacher.
Yeah.
How long have you been in Korea?
5 years.
5 years.
I'm leaving Korea. I'm going back to California in 2 weeks.
After 2 weeks.
Yeah, August 29th is when I leave the country. If I pass the coronavirus test, then I can leave.
I'm gonna come back to Korea.
No.
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 You gotta go there.
You're
Yeah,
going
with
to
friends,
California.
yeah, masters.
Yes, and the master. Yes, absolutely. Oh man, I think they. Yeah, for sure.
Wow.
All right. So yeah, let's start. Hello everybody, welcome to Randy's Coffee. It's a beautiful Friday afternoon. I'm excited to be here. We got some amazing coffees brought to us from Tanzania. We got 5 different ones, all different roasting points, as I'm sure you've probably heard before. Let's just get right into it. The first one was the Tanzania A. We'll start off with the smell. The smell reminded me of a Colombia smell, which is not bad at all. It just didn't have anything special. Nothing was poking out. Nothing was spiking. Very normal coffee smell. Moving on to the flavor. First thing I noticed right off the bat is it's a sharp, sour, very sour flavor. Sour like a sour candy. It almost tasted like a synthetic type of a sour. Again, it's not bad. It just has that type of sourness to it. It wasn't sour like a natural fruit. It was sour like something that came out of a factory, which is kind of interesting. The flavor, one of the most prominent flavors, was hazelnut in there, which is very interesting because buried right underneath that sour sharpness, it would mellow out, and then a nice hazelnut would come. But it was like a roasted hazelnut. It was really good. Kind of like after you bite into the hazelnut and your saliva starts building around that hazelnut, and then starts releasing all of those acids from that roasted hazelnut. Had that similar type of thing. So it started to smooth out that sour as the aftertaste was turning into a hazelnut. Overall, it had a medium body, so it was okay, not too bad. Reminded me more of a Colombia than anything else. Nothing spectacular about it. Pretty mundane, but a good morning cup. Definitely recommend eating it with something sweet like fruit or other notes, or a nice piece of chocolate cake. I mean, who doesn't like cake? Come on now, coffee and cake. Moving on to the next one, the AB, the Tanzania AB. Wow, this one made my heart jump. And yeah, it's very nice. Very nice one. This one had a vanilla smell, really nice vanilla bean smell. Big body. This one had a pretty big body on the roasted chestnut, and like a barley or like a wheat. So similar to, it reminded me of some like beers that I've had before. It reminded me of like a Belgian beer in terms of the barley. That one was really nice. Syrupy, so it was a thicker type of a texture in my mouth. Whereas the The A again was more medium, so it wasn't as thick. It was just soft but sour. It had that synthetic sourness to it. Aftertaste was long on the A, but we're staying. Just go back to the AB. The aftertaste was a lot longer on the AB because of the syrup texture, and as the saliva built up in my mouth, and as I would swallow, that flavor, the aftertaste would continue to just linger on my palate, if that's an acceptable term. As I said, yeah, it's a roasted chestnuts, barley with that vanilla smell. Again, it was still sour, but now we're getting into more fruity sourness. Still not into like biting into like a lemon or a grapefruit, which is gonna come in just a little bit. We're moving on to the double A. This was great. It had a milk chocolate almond smell to it. It reminded me of like a chocolate bar with like almonds inside of it. Pretty good stuff. Really, yeah, just milky, sugary sweetness to it. Again, this one had sour to it, but now, like, this is gonna sound weird because it has the milk chocolate smell, but it has this sour grapefruit notes in there, which was really beautiful to find in this cup of coffee. Grapefruit works really well in there. It was more like a bitter grapefruit, not the sweet one, and not. It was like actually like biting into the flesh of the grapefruit, not the peel, but actually the grapefruit, acidic, like sharp sourness. It was not a sweet one though. It also has the walnut, and this one was great with the tobacco. This one reminded me of many cigars that I've smoked. Maybe like a Nicaraguan cigar, or I've never had a real Cuban cigar, but it reminded me more of like a Nicaraguan cigar. Very earthy, so I don't want to say like soil or dirt, but that's kind of what it is. Like, it tasted like it was naturally, had this natural kind of grittiness to it. So it had that sourness, it had that the smell of the milk chocolate with the roasted almond, it had the tobacco, so it just had this really cool palette of, I don't know, a lot of exploration through that one. The smell was fantastic, milk chocolate almond. I mean, I wasn't expecting to find grapefruit in there, so that was a shock. Again, that was the double A. Now we're moving on to the triple A. This one was really fun. Straight up grapefruit smell as soon as I smelled it. I don't know if it was because I just got done drinking the double A, but as soon as I had that triple A, bam, grapefruit, like sweet. It reminded me, here in South Korea, in Cheonan, they have a place called Ashley's. It's like a buffet, and they do this cool thing with the grapefruit. They put the sugar on it and they roast it. They like burn with the whatever it is, butane. And damn, that was that smell. It really had that smell, like a sweet, caramelized sugar grapefruit. It was rad. It was like, dude, what's going on here? This one was salty, straight up. As soon as I tasted it, it wasn't sour, it was more salty. Which is interesting because I thought it was going to have the sour characteristics from the last ones. But this one was salty and maintained the roasted almond flavor, but then now we're getting toffee notes in there, so it's becoming a little bit more sweeter. So we're getting we're getting salty, and we're getting sweet. So that was very well received in my mouth and down my gullet. And yeah, that grapefruit smell, that sugary grapefruit smell was fantastic. Moving on to the last one is the pea berry. Such a beautiful coffee bean. It looks beautiful. If you've never seen it, check it out. Come to Randy's, get some coffee, and check it out. Pea berry. The smell on this one was fantastic. It had a barley wheat with a lemon now. So the grapefruit went away, and we're getting more a lemon, not like the zesty lemon, but more of when you cut the lemon open and you're smelling the flesh. So we're not getting that rind type of vibe. We're getting more of the fleshy fruit stuff, similar with the grapefruit, now with the lemon. So this one had that barley. It reminded me of a beer again. It reminded me of like Belgium. So like a triple Belgium or a quadruple Belgium, something like that. Pungent, but pleasurable. Again, that lemon kept it pretty intriguing, interesting in that regard. This one had a deep flavor similar to the AB. So if we go back here, similar to the AB, it had that chestnut, roasted chestnut, It had that syrupy, it was sour, it had that barley, again, that like beer type of a vibe. It was similar to that, but because it was a pea berry, I think it retained a lot of the notes that I wasn't a big fan of. I feel like it had more of a synthetic vibe to it, more earthy, but I didn't feel like clean earthy. I don't know, this might be bad, but it's like drinking rainwater versus purified water. So it just felt like there was more grit in their flavors, and the flavors weren't as, what's the word, like coagulated or brought together as well. They're a little bit more separated, and there was more tension in the flavor profile compared to the AB. So I don't know if you fully understood what I said there, but I'll go through really quick and let you know my favorite ones are the ones I recommend. The AAA was my favorite one because of that grapefruit. It was a beautiful one. Randy did an incredible job on roasting it. Jenny did a superb job on doing the pour over. She's a master. Come check her out. She'll hook you up. Number two was the AB. I really enjoyed the AB. That one had the vanilla smell. That one was sour with the chestnut. Again, it was similar to the pea berry, but the AB was my second favorite, whereas the pea berry was my least favorite. That's the one. Unfortunately, I don't recommend you try that one. I would steer clear of that pea berry. My third recommendation was the double A. That one was the milk chocolate almond with the sour walnut thing. That was still good. It had that grapefruit, but I wanted to get more of that grapefruit out of there. My fourth is the A, which had the tobacco notes, and had the Columbia smell. It was just more general. And then my fifth one, as I already said, was the pea berry. So pretty incredible stuff, though. It wasn't bad. Definitely a lot better than other things. If you don't believe me, like I said before, come to Randy's. Check it out. It's a beautiful place.
Say goodbye to the Korean.
Oh, and yeah, this might be the last time you ever see me again, because I'm going back to California in 2 weeks from the filming of this video. So I'm sorry to leave this beautiful place that is Randy's. It's been a lot of good memories here. Beautiful people. I've met a lot of great people. Randy and Jenny are fantastic. I mean, splendid people, and I'm so glad that I bumped into them and got to know them and share time and enjoy the quality coffee at Randy's. All right.